Welcome to Market Like a Hotshot. Onward! It's episode 50.
We made it to 50.
The big 50. I think it's time for that AARP card. What do you think?
I know our episodes are they're senior, like they're qualified for like an old age home. I think
Oh, that's it. Senior moments. We're having senior moments today. So, today we're talking about podcasting like a hotshot. So, this is kind of going to be almost like a historical look at 0 to 50. What do you think?
Yeah,
of
we're
that?
going to talk about what we've learned, all the lessons learned that we've had, over the last year.
Yeah, it's been
year or so.
It's been a year, pretty
Yeah,
much.
it's been about a year since we started this last summer.
Yeah,
And
his summer's here, right?
yeah,
The
50
trees.
episodes, 3 live events, several half episodes.
A lot of episodes and a lot of redos.
Yeah.
Tell me about enough redos. So we didn't know really how fast this has grown. I mean, we got hundreds. We got a pretty good group of followers out there. Multiple states. I think some people in India listen to us now.
Yeah, we have people all over the world, like Vietnam, I think is on one of the platforms. It's like one of our top
Really?
countries. But I mean, we had a lot. We've had 3 live events, and first one we had a little over 30 people. Then we had a little over 40 at the next one.
Then we hit the
And
big
then,
100.
Yeah, and then we had
plus.
over 100 at
Yeah.
the last one. So, and of course, when we do the farmers market on the 18th of June, there'll be thousands of people there. So it's going to be fun.
Think I can get some strawberries? Aren't they in season in June?
They should be. Yeah.
Yeah. So the farmers market. So you can have some strawberries and listen to Market Like a Hotshot.
Yeah.
All right.
So I mean, as we kick off episode 50, I mean, it's definitely been a journey. And you can go back and listen to episode 1 about the journey, but this one really matters because we're doing a retrospective on what worked, some of the lessons we learned, and it was easier than we thought to start the podcast.
Listen, dude, I'm on a podcast. Who would have thought two plus years ago?
Yeah.
People might say, "Yeah, dude, you have a radio voice a little bit."
You do. I have a terrible
But
voice.
and I don't know if you knew this, but I sort of had a podcast about 12 years ago on UR Business Network, which is totally defunct.
Oh.
That was the social strategy. So I did do it back in the day. But, we took a 10-year break, and then, of course, I got older and huskier, and I'm over 50, which is a little different, right?
It's a lot of fun.
So, listeners, what we like, at the end of this, and, we talk about how easy, we say it's generally easy to do this, right? I like to inspire some folks out there to start their own podcasts. I mean, there's thousands and thousands of podcasts out there, right? And everyone has something to say. If you have something to say, start a podcast, right?
Yeah, I mean, the key to starting a successful podcast though is
Listen, Massachusetts
I got the Mass accent going today. No, but the key to successful podcast is really starting off with the right format and the right people involved. So, we talked about this earlier that, you and I are a good fit for this together. So, I mean, I think the reason why it really does work out is that we work well together because we have a lot of similar experience. Like, we're at the same level. And we also bring complementary experience to each other. So
we're both are former IT guys.
Yeah.
I love the word former IT guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moved on from that.
Right.
And, so having that format, having a clear purpose. Our purpose is to share. I love sharing my brain, information for folks out there. And consistency, our consistency is like lock solid. We haven't missed a week.
We haven't, even when you're traveling.
Yeah.
It's like we've had to record 2 and 3 episodes in a week to accommodate that, which was fun.
Yeah, see my tan? Don't I look tan?
Yeah,
again?
I know.
I was down in the Sunshine State. It was like so hot down there last week. It was hot. I felt like I was like an egg on the sidewalk.
Yeah, we had a couple. I think we hit the 80s last week up here too. But
yeah. It's our weather
but I mean,
forecast.
that's really consistency is incredibly important because that's why a lot of podcasts don't make it because they'll do like an episode, they get all excited and they record like one a day for 2 weeks, and then after that it's like a week goes by, and then a month, and they're like, I should get back to it. You look at ours and you look at our history on Spotify, and there's pretty much one every week. There's a couple instances where we've done more than one.
Yep.
Because I
Some
don't
are
believe
live.
I think our first episode actually came out in June of 2025.
Yes.
And we're in May. I mean,
We're
we
in
still have a few. I know. I had to think about that for a moment.
She needs a calendar.
I know. I need the calendar right up there.
But, we did some adjustments along the way, too. I remember those big mics that we used to have.
Oh yeah, we had even though we had this equipment, we didn't know how to use it. So if you watch our early episodes, because the video wasn't even on Spotify initially, we were only on YouTube.
You had to see
And-
our Italian faces.
Yeah, and you would see like we're sitting behind the mics, but we have lapel mics because we didn't know how to get this equipment to work. We figured that out. We ran into an issue where we weren't recording in stereo for a few episodes, so we figured that piece
Analog.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, like it's a journey. It's something you don't have to figure out everything at once.
Yeah.
But we took that agile approach where it's like, all right, let's just like do it, see what happens, and adjust as we
Tip
learn.
of the day right there. Just do it. But, as we go along with today's podcast, what we'll do is, towards the end, we'll have our Hotshot tactics. That's very important to stick it out today and listen right to the end. I always say podcasts are important. When you listen to any podcast, it's always great to listen to the end because you know what, you're going to miss something.
Right.
And today it's all about those Hotshot tactics that we talk about
Yeah,
at
and
the end.
those tactics are always at the end, so you want to make sure you don't miss those.
Yeah.
So the next thing we wanted to share about you is like how it works. So I initially had been wanting to do this for a while, and I tried it with a former employee, then I tried it with another former employee, and it just didn't. Neither one of them really worked.
You don't
out.
want to work with employees, number one.
Right. I mean, it's
That's a good tip. Be
yeah.
careful
I
with
mean,
employees.
it works for some people, but
Yeah.
the format we have now is two experts. It's not like a host and like we're two co-hosts, two experts in we're equals. Not to say that the people that worked for me were not my equal, but like, when it came to understanding the industry, they didn't have that level of knowledge. So I was like the expert being interviewed by the other person.
Yeah.
And that format,
It works.
I don't know. It works for some people,
Yeah.
but it didn't work for us. But this is definitely working for us, and it's people say that we have that natural chemistry, the banter between us, the way
The
we
banter.
tease each other.
Push them off.
Yeah, Jeff
Oh, that-
teasing me about my weight and all this fun stuff that we.
He still hasn't
Haven't-
gone to the gym.
I did. I was at
LA
Lifetime
Fitness,
once.
Lifetime. That's the other gym. You
Yeah,
gotta
we'll
you gotta
get
go-
there.
You gotta go to a real gym. So, what we adjusted, some of the things we did, we tightened the format. Our format, I think our episodes have gotten better. Audio, we talk about the audio. We don't like to talk for hours. There's some podcasts out there for like hour and a half, and I've gotten some great feedback from people like, you guys hit the point. Do you ever have like somebody has a talk and you're like, will you just get to the point? And we got to get, I understand, but also it's important to listen to the end because you don't want to miss anything.
Yeah.
But then, getting back to the advantages we have, we both own marketing companies. We have a great team behind us.
We do.
And we learn quickly. We learn quickly over the course of all the episodes. So our tip there is, you just jump into the pool and learn. You're gonna mess up. You're gonna hate your voice initially, but just jump into it because that's that you have to start. And then, how do you think the live events have changed things? Because from going from this room here at Framingham State to be in front of people, I know people are afraid to be in front of a crowd, but how did that change us?
Well, the live events really made it feel like we were part of a community, and I think that's what makes us different from a lot of other podcasts because it's not just you and me plus the producers.
The producers.
We have our Hotshot Nation out there, and they show up.
Yeah, they were there at KP's in a big way, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of speechless when we started, not because I was afraid of speaking to a crowd, but I was just like, holy cow, all these people came here for our podcast.
Yeah, we got some. We'll talk about towards the end of today's podcast with some exciting live events coming.
We got a lot of fun stuff coming.
So, and then you have the real-time audience reactions, people cheering, and then, meeting listeners face-to-face and having them come up on stage and ask us questions on the fly. This is the way you're going to learn. When you start a podcast, I always say do a live one.
Yeah.
I know some folks use Zoom. They use studios like this, but do some live stuff because that's gonna make you grow. I give this tip to a lot of folks. They're like, how can I stand apart? And this is actually candidates in my recruiting business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Learn how to talk in front of people because if you start doing that, you're gonna grow.
Well, actually, if you watch the clip from Kaipi from episode 45, that's the advice, and you gave that advice to our good friend Trevor, Coach Trev.
Coach Trev.
We love
Shout
Coach
out.
Trev.
Shout out,
him
my friend.
Yeah, so I mean, having the guests up here and answering their questions live, you and I have to think on our feet.
Yeah, that's why we do this
with no preparation, and it's fun. It's and it makes it real. It makes it live, and those events. Episode 45 was our third one. The first live event was episode 13. I forget off the top of my head what.
You don't know? Oh boy,
I can't remember to pack a lunch in the morning half the time.
So like getting into like the strategy, right? Format, length, and all that.
Yeah.
Why do you think we waited till now? Here we are at episode 50.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 51, we have a guest.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that a little bit later.
We have our first guest who will be
in this room next week.
Yeah, next
literally.
week.
We need a third chair. We got to find another.
I know. Well, this is one right there. We have a third chair already.
No, we waited because we wanted to get this right.
Right.
And I could say you want to progressively learn with podcasting, and you want to listen to yourself. You want to adjust. I always say, wait, and I think we're doing it right. I think so. Is do it on your own for a little while, and then build a process for guests. I say it's very important to have a process, have requirements for your guests on your podcast. You don't want Uncle Joe on your podcast, and he happens to be like a landscaper. Or it depends on what your podcast is, but it has to have something to do with what your podcast is all about.
Right.
That's a big one. So that's why we wanted to wait. What's some other strategies there?
Well, we also wanted to make sure that we figured out consistency and we could prove that we could handle the consistency, because consistency is more important than perfection. Having a podcast that comes out every week that at least has something that's of value to the listeners versus it being completely perfect where, all the ums and ahs are removed. We leave those in there.
I don't do it. Do I do an I don't do ums.
You don't. I do them a lot.
Yeah.
As a former Toastmaster, it's just like
you're supposed to breathe. Like if you're gonna you gotta go.
That's actually a really good tip.
Yeah, you just take a breath instead of saying And here I go. I just did it. Damn, I had to breathe. But consistency is good, and we talked about shorter episodes.
Yeah.
There's some. I did the drive from Florida, right? So I did listen to a couple of podcasts. The CMO podcast, Chief Marketing Officer. Mm-hmm. Some of them were like 2 hours long. I mean, I went through a whole state for one of them in Georgia. Not
that it's a podcast, but have you ever heard of Critical Role?
I've heard of it.
They have a couple of shows on Amazon Prime. They're a Dungeons and Dragons group.
Yeah.
Some of them they're famous voice actors. A bunch of them are famous. They're actually all famous voice actors. They do playthroughs of Dungeons and Dragons. They're like 3 hours long.
Oh, see, that would drive me crazy.
Yeah, people watch them all the way to the very end. So for us, that format wouldn't work. I don't think there's ever an instance where 3.5 I don't think either of us could go for 3.5 hours.
I would have to drink about 7 teas.
Yeah, I mean, I'd need like a break.
Yeah, bathroom break.
Yeah, it's like NASCAR where you need like a pit stop in the middle of it. But for them it works. But for us, 25 to 40 minutes 40 is even pushing it.
So basically shorter episodes is key. So I mean, if you have a lot to say, break it up into different parts.
Yeah.
Because, everyone has short attention spans, right? It's just like sometimes you watch a movie, you want to fast forward it sometimes, or listen to a song, you don't like it, you want to fast forward it. The key with your podcast is to keep people intrigued to the end, right? So, and then that's why you want to have structure. You want to have a little bit of a structure in your podcast and what you're going to talk about. Well, you come up with these great titles all the time. Mm-hmm. Podcasting like a hotshot, branding like a hotshot. Have a good catchy title. and that'll be great. So how about location? So we talked about some folks do Zoom or an online conferencing system.
Yeah. Or they use they do a room in their. I mean, whatever's available to you. It's better to do it somewhere than not do it at all. In our case, we're very fortunate that we do have a podcast studio
live here in Framingham State.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the building, we have a podcasting studio, which is incredible. But we've also gone out on the road. You know, Kaipi was our first adventure outside of this building. The other two live ones were downstairs.
Yep.
But even moving the logistics of moving the equipment and making sure that we hook it all up the right way, that was a challenge. Then being somewhere else with different equipment was another challenge.
We did at Kaipi's, right?
And I don't know how this is going to work out at the. We're still figuring out how the next live event, because that's going to be outdoors with different equipment. But we get that stuff figured out as we go. It's it's better for us to say yes and figure it out than to say no until.
Hope there's no thunderstorms that day, or that would not be good.
Yeah.
So I would suggest out there for the new podcasters, invest in mobile equipment, because you never know where you're going to do your next. Because earlier what we talked about is having live broadcasts going around. Yeah, because we're going to do, and this kind of a tidbit to an announcement later, is we're going to go on a road show.
Yeah.
We're rock stars. We're going to be on the road. Market like a Hotshot on the road, the national tour. Right? But so you want to eventually invest in equipment that you can move around, right?
So portable equipment. And speaking of it, we have mics. These are professional mics. We've got, I forget if these are the wind guards, they call them.
Yep.
That are in front of here. And then we have a mixer that's under the table that you can't see. But
so headphones, that would be more like if you're doing a conference more than in the room itself.
Yeah, I mean, some people use, I noticed that there's a lot of people that use headphones. We can get instructions from the producers by doing that, which is good. Or,
That's true.
Or you can hear the quality of it as you're, hitting the mic. It's something something that's
punching the
never
mic.
Yeah. But there's a lot of different reasons for using headphones. We record on the computer, we record on the phone, so we have to sync up the audio and video. Yep. So that was another challenge that we had to figure out. And
what's your favorite recording software, if there was any?
There's so many different ones out there.
Yeah.
There's Riverside, there's Audacity, there's some people use. I don't have a Mac, but I forget what the Mac software is. But anything that will record audio in high quality is good.
It's good, yeah.
And
so
today's phones, I mean,
it just blows your mind.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. What we're looking at right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're recording in 4K. We could record in 8K, but it's all that's going to do is take 12 gigabytes for a 20-minute show.
I know, right? But bottom line, you don't have to spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
You really, you think you have to spend thousands to get a podcast started. What would we spend? $100? A couple $100?
Yeah, it's a couple $100 to get this type of equipment. And I mean, you don't need anything fancy right away. Wait till it blows up, and then that's when you can get the expensive stuff.
Speaking of blowing up, promotion.
Mm-hmm.
So what's some of the ways you could get people psyched up for that next episode, if you have a next episode of your podcast?
Well, one of the things we've been doing is having teaser clips. We do a lot of fun stuff on our TikTok channel.
Yeah, you gotta check it out.
Yeah,
TikTok.
we did the push-up challenge. Remember, I think it was episode 41.
My
so
wife,
you and I are
we're doing a push-up. My wife actually was. She thinks that dancing one that we did, I'm doing this type of dance. She cracks up. That's probably why I have a lot of views of that video.
Not to get off topic, but there was a video I saw the other day that I just can't stop laughing about. It's like funny cat videos. Like when you said the dancing, it reminded me because there was a dude that walked in, and there was a cat in a box on top of the refrigerator. Yeah. When he walks by, the cat punches him.
The cat punches him.
And it's the cat just randomly punches.
So social clips are really a good way to tease.
Yeah. I would say TikTok, Instagram, probably 2 top platforms for that.
I would say TikTok, Instagram, probably 2 top platforms for that. Probably
Absolutely.
You could use YouTube Shorts too.
Yeah, YouTube Shorts is great for it. LinkedIn, we can, LinkedIn with their new video features.
Yeah,
also
live.
a good one.
LinkedIn Live.
Um,
And then, of course, having an email list for your listeners is key, because then you can keep them up to date on upcoming episodes.
Yeah.
And
that's coming soon on marketlikeahotshot.com is the Market Like a Hotshot email list.
an email list. I love it. And, of course, we just mentioned a website, marketlikeahotshot.com.
Yeah.
You got to have a website for your podcast. Just build one. Get it done, because you want to
reach out to us and we'll build one for you.
He will, right there.
Yeah, just like we did. That's how we did ours. I mean, that was the advantage of having a marketing company, is that, we built a brand last summer with all of this. It's like logo. We had to come up with a logo. We had to come up with a name. We had to come up with the bumper music.
I love it. I love that 80s music, man.
The bumper music is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We're going to, this is another preview, is that watch out for music. We're going to actually put music out on Spotify. So
we're going to put Spotify out of business. What do you think?
No, because Spotify is our distributor.
That's true. I didn't say that, President of Spotify. I didn't say that.
No, but we will. You're going to see some of the songs that you hear on the show that we've created for the podcast. That's another up and coming feature. And I'm kind of giving away a lot of our thunder for the end of the show.
Well, you know what? That's the key of us. That's why we do this. We like to share information. We love to see, after today's episode, who out there have we inspired to start their own podcast? I'd like to hear from you. Maybe we'll bring you on as a guest in the future. We have to be qualified for a guest. That's the big one.
Yeah.
And then word of mouth is big. We always talk about. I want to see a great movie a couple weeks ago. Michael, right? Probably told a half dozen people about it. Great movie. Same thing. If you heard a great podcast, word of mouth is really key. You want people to listen to your podcast and tell others, and at the dinner table. That's going to be a big thing. And then, of course, cross-promotional with guests are really, having guests. That's why I can't wait. Episode 51 onward, man. We are cranking it up. We have
a few more people that we're going to invite to be guests. And
we have some really, I'm telling you, we can't tell you, right? But we got some really good guests coming up.
Yeah, and it's, you'll see one of the ways we promote that. We did that with Riyadh last week, where we shared a clip of, us. We kind of sprang it on him the night of the Taste of
West.
West.
At the Taste of Metro.
It's funny. We're sitting there, and I'm like, I said to Jeff, I'm like, we got to record this. And Riyadh's kind of looking at us like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
And then I think we had Gary, our good friend Gary.
The Bezos.
Yeah, he always called Bezos. Gary was kind enough to, help us record, kept it steady. It was in a loud bar, so it just made it a little bit.
At the new Renaissance in Framingham.
Yeah, they have a beautiful space at that.
It's really
bar
cool.
That they have there, but. Yeah, and we're going to do that tonight. We're going to be talking to somebody that might
be a future guest.
Yeah.
So cross-promotional guests. That's why, to kind of retract, you want to do a few on your own, get going, and then eventually build a process for guests, and then have guests, because then the guests are going to promote you. Yeah, it's like compound interest at a bank.
It's true.
Right? It's the way it is, and then community engagement. Yeah, being out in the community. Now we're going to be at the Farmers Market on June 18th. That's a community event here in Framingham.
We get out there in the community. I mean, we've had several city councilors have come to our live events. The mayor came to our last live event.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, we're out there, and they do that because Jeff and I are out there in the community. We're not just like two unknown people that are like,
in somebody's basement.
Yeah, I mean, it's just we're very fortunate that we have those connections, and we could have more people from the political scene or community leaders or I know we don't like we're not
politics.
We're not. This is was it O'Reilly that had the no spin zone?
We're the no political zone here. Politician zone.
Yeah, but it's nice to know that our community leaders do enjoy the show, and a lot of our fans are from the community. So
that's right,
our Hotshot Nation.
Hotshot Nation. So, and then what's some of the I would say metrics? You want to be a data guy here, right?
Oh, yeah.
Listener feedback is really key. We got to get. We want to hear from you. about our episodes. Even if you have to critique us, we want you to critique us. And then don't be afraid for folks to critique you about your podcast. That's the only way you're going to learn.
Yeah.
It's the only way you're going to get better. If everyone's like, oh, you guys are great, no problems. Like, oh, man, well, I guess we have nothing to adjust, but you want to adjust.
I mean, you remember we had we didn't call it a post-mortem, but it was our production meeting after the live show. And the live show, I thought it was incredible.
Yeah.
But I also thought of all the live shows we did, that one had the most room for improvement.
It did.
And we got we get a lot of feedback from people about what they liked, and then they'd share things that they thought we should do better. And, one of them was just that it was very loud while we were trying to do the podcast.
It was probably those loud music we were playing.
Yeah, I mean, it was a loud room to do that. So we're going to adjust how we do that next time. We experimented like crazy. The T-shirts for the producers.
Yeah,
we did the bingo
T-shirts.
cards. We did the drink menu. And I gotta give the team credit. Virginia, Paulina, Kenzie, Reagan.
Yeah.
Ryan,
yeah.
All the stuff that we dumped on them at the last few weeks. I remember Reagan's the day of, she's got all the bingo cards printed, and she's like, "We don't have any pens," and I'm like,
Staples.
"Yeah," I'm like, "All right," but fortunately we were able to get them. It's we're doing stuff for the first time, but that's how you learn from it, both from the team, from our listeners. Now, you asked about the data, the analytics, so look at...
So completion rates are big.
Yeah.
So, in other words, here's another tip, we talked about this earlier. Intrigue your listeners to listen to the end, because the goal is to have the highest percentage completion rate possible.
Right.
Now, I know everyone has things to do. They may listen to a podcast for the first 5-10 minutes, but you want to eventually listen to the whole podcast. Because I bet you anyone out there has a lot of great things to say, and it's like a great, an intriguing movie. You always want to see the end of the movie. How does the movie end? That's really key. If you don't know the ending of a movie, you don't know the movie. If you don't know the ending of a podcast, you know the end of the podcast. So completion's key. Another thing is topic selection. Now we're at episode 50, and amazingly, we've come up with 50 different topics. But eventually it's going to run out.
Yeah, I mean,
Eventually.
there's only so many words you can put before like a hotshot.
Like a hotshot, right?
Right?
We'll be like driving like a hotshot,
Yeah. Raking leaves like a hotshot. I'm looking outside at the green trees that we have out there. Landscaping like a...
Landscape. We're going to run out of them. So you want to, again, getting feedback from people about topics they want to hear. Yeah. That's a classic customer success tip, is understanding your customer and what they like to hear, not what you like to talk about.
True.
Topic selection. And then another big thing is your episode structure. How are you structuring your episodes to be lockstep? Any others?
Just the branding updates. It's we have that...
The
fire, the mic with the fire. There's a game I play, an online game I play, and I use that as my icon. I use it as my profile picture. I couldn't find a photo of me I liked, so I'm like, what the heck? I'll call myself Hotshot and use that on there.
Hotshot.
So, yeah, so you'll if you're on the game, if you ever come across, you'll know it's my profile. So let's go on to our tactics.
Tactics, that's why you got to listen to the end, right? So, starting simple. It's a very simple. Guys, I'm up here doing a podcast. All right, just to give you an idea. I never, like I said, I did one 10 plus years ago. Yeah. In a studio. It was great. Everything was done for me, but here we are. We're doing this thing. We're in Framingham State in the podcast studio doing a podcast. That's amazing. Picking a format. So ours is marketing and entrepreneurship. Don't want to divvy from the topic. Mm-hmm. We're not going to be talking about financial services or whatever, right?
Yeah, we're not going to tell you how to balance your checkbook like a hotshot, but we may have some financial guests on here that might help you with some business tips.
Bezos?
Yeah, he'd be a good guest.
Yeah, we'll have to fly him up from Miami, right?
He's,
You didn't get that, did you? He's a little slow.
I'm a little
So
slow
speaking
today.
of that, chemistry. You got to have chemistry with your
Yeah.
guests as well as your co-hosts,
Yeah.
because you don't want to. I don't want to end up throwing you out a window.
I know, and it's hilarious because you and I have really good chemistry. We don't have like egos between the two of us. It's not like one of us is trying to outdo the other. It's
Well, I'm
like,
more muscular than he is.
yeah, I just. But see, like a comment like that would really bother some people. For
Yeah.
me, I just think it's funny, you know. Like, and I think that's why we work. And unfortunately, with other people, it's just like we didn't have that. I didn't have that type of chemistry.
You threw him out the window.
Yeah.
And,
No comment.
consistency beats perfection. So that's a tactic we talked about before, is just keep doing it. Don't quit.
Yeah.
Keep working it. Work on your craft every single week. And then you have to promote your episodes more than once. We need to, personally, we got to get better at that, right? Is to get, hype people up about your next episode. And then when one of your episodes goes live, don't just post about it once. Keep people engaged. Use like Instagram stories, YouTube shorts. We talked about those two. TikTok. Those are great formats to hype people up. Do that. How about some other ones? Some tactics. Surefire.
The live events is really, and it's not for everybody. So you're a small podcast. You're one person. You're recording in your basement. A live event may not be something that you can pull off right away, but strive towards it. Maybe you do it in 50 episodes. We did it early because we were fortunate enough that we just had the means to do it.
Yeah, we had the facilities.
We have the facility, we had the equipment, and we had the audience that we could bring in here. But it doesn't mean that your podcast won't be successful. There's a lot of podcasts out there that are successful that have no guests.
Yeah.
And they get a crap load of listeners, and it's one person. And they're in their basement on a lapel mic.
It just blows your mind.
Yeah,
And,
because the content is so good,
Yeah,
and that's really what matters.
if you're intriguing, and then, you say about making money. We didn't talk about that today about podcasting, but getting this, we'll talk about that maybe in a future episode.
Yeah.
Getting the sponsorships and having the tools and trades on your podcast to be able to make an income on it. We talk about listening to your listeners. We like to listen to you. If there was an episode 50, that we would like to hear from our guests, let us know what you think. We're at a milestone today at episode 50. Listen to your guests. And then, we always say, we already talked about this, don't bring guests on until you find a voice. I think we got it.
Yeah.
Finally took us 50 episodes to do that. And treating your podcast like a brand. Market Like a Hotshot is a freaking good brand.
It's a brand. I mean, it really is. It's got its own website. We treat it like its own brand. In fact, we will have some interns this summer that are going to be aligned towards the Market Like a Hotshot brand.
Exactly. So you want to have, your podcast has to have a brand that you can build. You can have merchandise.
Which we did.
Which we do. And, you have your logo. It's a brand. So it's really exciting, man. This is exciting. It really is. It's like tactics. Any other tactics, or did I hit them all?
I think we hit them all. I think.
All right. So we have a little bit of a challenge. The Hotshot challenge.
Love it.
What is it, Mr. Feudo?
So this is what we want you to do.
You have homework. Did these guys know that they were getting homework?
Yeah, we're giving you homework. And
All
look,
right.
this is going to be a future part of a future feature in our episodes going forward. So if you've ever thought about having your own podcast, do a 5-minute episode. You don't even have to publish it. Just create a 5-minute test episode and show it to one person. That's
Exactly. That's it.
Super simple.
Don't publish it. Just record it. It could break the back. It'll get you moving, because you know what? You're gonna find out it's pretty cool. It's fun. It's easy.
And you're going to build momentum.
You will. So we have some calls to action. Of course, we always ask you to follow us.
Mm-hmm.
Spotify, Amazon, Apple, YouTube. We have on our YouTube channels. We have playlists. Market Like a Hotshot playlist. We search for that. And I forgot about iHeartRadio, but iHeartRadio is a good one.
Yeah, we're in iHeart.
We always, and this is where this is kind of, when you do your podcast, ask folks to share your episodes. Compound interest, right? compound viewing.
That's been super helpful because I don't know if you saw, we've had like 4 or 5 people in the last week posting on LinkedIn about the Hotshot.
About the Hotshots,
Yeah.
the market like, and that's
Because they're our Hotshot nation. They're our
Hotshot
Hotshots.
Nation, my friend. And then how about learn like a hotshot?
Yeah. That is a
You
fun
got to
feature.
check out the learn link on marketlikeahotshot.com. We got like 3 courses on there. And another one of our projects that's pretty much going live. We got a couple of things to take care of. Contributors. So if you want to contribute and put your course on Learn Like a Hotshot, get in touch with us.
But it has to be good.
You have to be good. We're going to critique you and test you. It's got to be good, right? And then what do we got on a new website? That's with some good features.
We've got a lot of new features coming. So we're recording this in May of 2026. So if you are listening to this episode in June of 26 or later, you might want to go back and check out the website because these features may already be there. We've already added on the events section of the of the website. We're going to be adding in a blogging feature. We have a whole bunch of content we're going to start putting up in the next few weeks and months. The emailing list we kind of hinted about, but we are going to set up a mailing list so you can learn about the live events ahead of time, learn about deals, learn about all the all the cool stuff
Need
that
more
we're
tea?
up to. I should have got water for me.
Or a wake shot.
So just keep an eye on that. There's going to be a lot of changes. Obviously, more courses. We've only got 3 there now, but there's 3 or 4 more that we have that I used to teach right down the road from here.
Yeah,
We're going to start adding. So just kind of keep an eye out on it.
Good stuff. I mean, that's why you got to wait to the end. And then, we have our live event June 18th at the Framingham Common, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Framingham Farmers Market. Get your strawberries and stop by our booth.
And then one other thing is that we will be taking the road show out of Massachusetts. And
Yes.
sometime this fall.
We may be in.
We may be in.
Should I say it?
No, we'll be in a different state.
We'll be in a different state. Should I say
Different
where?
state. Yeah, all right, go ahead. Sure.
All right, go ahead. I know. See, that's why you got to wait till the end. We're going to be in Providence, Rhode Island.
Yeah, that's going to
Right?
be exciting.
Yeah, I think September. We're trying to figure out the actual.
We don't have a date yet.
But it's a great, great facility in Providence. I'm psyched. Hey, Rhode Island's hot these days.
It is.
Real Housewives of Rhode Island. That's got renewed on Bravo. They say it's the most watched Real Housewives feature ever.
Nice.
Crazy stuff going down there. You got FIFA, you got the World Cup, a lot of partying going on, water fires, and of course, market like a hotshot.
Yeah.
And also we are our first guest next week. Our first guest.
Next episode 51, we'll have our first guest, so watch out for that.
Who is it? Do we say?
Yeah, Riyadh Shah.
Riyadh Shah.
Chamber of Commerce.
CEO. Yeah.
Some cool stuff. So keep a listen out for that, and then we'll see you on the other side, right?
We'll see you on the other side, man. All right. So, Hotshot Nation, have a great day. We want to see your new podcast out there. Get in touch with us. Also, give us some feedback on our podcast. Like, share, comment, repost. Have a good day. Hot Shots. This is Jeff and James.